class. So when the class is over, if you would like a copy of it, all you need to do is ask, and I will certainly email you out a copy of the class that you just attended. Okay, so this class is the online store class. The online store can be used either as a website, a web page that your website would have links to, or it will activate those same features in the app if you get the app. So the online store has three main features, and that is the ability to do, for your customers, to do appointments online, purchase gift cards or gift certificates online, or purchase retail products online. All of those are available either as web pages that can link to your website, or as I said, through the app. You do not have to use all three, and maybe you just want to go with appointments online, or maybe you just want to sell gift certificates online or something like that. You can do that as well. So it's up to you what you want to activate in the system. So how does it work? Well, the first thing you need to do is click on the online button here. That brings up this Setup Online Store window. It may look a little bit confusing, but it's really very simple. I'm going to go over each field with you, excuse me. So the first is existing website address. You would put in your business's website address here. This allows your customers, when they're in your store, to be able to click the home button and be taken directly back to your main website. Next is email address. Now, you don't need anything in this field. However, if you put something in this field, and it would be obviously like a manager's email address or an owner's email address or something like that, what happens then is if somebody makes a purchase of a retail product online, or if somebody purchases a gift certificate online, or books an appointment online, you can be notified via this email address. Now, again, it's not necessary because all three of those have other forms of notification as well. For instance, if somebody books an appointment online, obviously the appointment appears on your appointment book. It's got its own unique website color, and it has the word web next to it so that you know that they were booked online. You can also run reports on any appointments that may have been booked online for any date range, maybe last night or last week or whatever it may be. If somebody purchased a gift certificate online and they printed that gift certificate out, there's nothing you need to do on your end. Because it's a direct interface with the software, the customers can purchase the gift certificate, print it out, walk into your shop, and use it a moment later. Your software is already aware of it, knows the number, knows the value, who purchased it, etc. With retail products online, your point of sale in the software will actually bring up an alert letting you know that somebody has purchased a retail product online, so that you can then print out their shipping label and stuff, for instance, a UPS box, a U.S. Postal Service box. I guess you could stuff a UPS box as well, with whatever products they've purchased and ship them out to them. So, again, the email address, unnecessary, but you certainly can put it in there if you want that additional notification. Terms and conditions. This is an empty box when you open this up for the first time, and you get to write whatever you want in it. On the store, there is a little link at the very bottom of the page that says terms and conditions. And if your customer clicks on that, they'll be able to read whatever you've put here. So if you're using all three, maybe you want to have your cancellation policy, maybe your policy regarding gift certificates and retail as well. It's entirely up to you. Next, we have the bottom message. Again, on the page of your online store, there is a tiny little link on the bottom. Well, not even a link in this case. It's just some verbiage, whatever you want it to say. I've written Pro Solution Software, Inc., 2017, all rights reserved. However, you could have something like, if you have any questions, please call, and a telephone number. It's just a tiny little line of text at the bottom of the page, and you can make it say whatever it is you like. Next is the API login and API transaction keys. You do not need these if all you're doing is setting up appointments online. However, if you plan on selling gift certificates or retail online, you must have these. So how do you get them, and what are they? Well, this allows our system to interface with authorize.net. Now, you do not need to use our credit card processor in order to do this. You can use your own credit card processor. But you're going to contact your credit card processor, whether it's ours or your own, and you're going to ask them for what's called an online merchant ID, which is different than the merchant ID that you use for your brick and mortar location. And your credit card processor, whomever they are, will give you an online merchant ID so that you can start selling things online. With that online merchant ID, you'll go to a website, authorize.net, and you'll create an account. When you create an account using your online merchant ID, you will be assigned a login, and a transaction key, which you will then be able to plug into these fields. That will allow the system to be able to charge the cards and send the money on its way to your bank when somebody purchases a gift certificate or a retail product online. Next, we have the three images: main image, side banner image, and bottom banner image. So let's talk about those really quick. Let's actually look at what the page might look like. So I'm going to bring up a page that I've created here. And of course, you would be able to upload your imagery, change the colors, change the buttons, things like that. So it's going to have a look and feel that you want it to have, so that it looks similar to your current website, so that when your customers click on a button on your website for instance, book appointments online or something like that, it doesn't take them to a page that suddenly they feel like they've left your site. So what do we do here? Let's go back in here. So my main image, I get to click upload, and now I can browse to anywhere on my computer that I may have my imagery saved. And so, for instance, I'm going to change my top banner to this one here that I've created and upload. Usually just takes a few seconds, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, and it's uploaded. And close that. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to click on the side banner. Bear with me just a moment while that does its thing. There we go. And we'll click on upload and browse. And now I can choose a brand new side banner. So I'm going to go with this one with the foot here and upload 1001, 1002, there it is. And then we'll go to our bottom banner. And I'll go with my Bella Renaissance bottom banner here and upload that. Now, the banners themselves, our graphic arts department can either supply you with the specs so that you can create them on your own, or they can actually create them for you. Our graphic arts department is at your disposal at no charge. It's part of the services that we offer our customers. So you can work with our graphic arts department to make sure that you get the banners you want. So let's save the changes we've made here, and let's take a look. So here's my page again. Now I'm going to refresh it. I've just replaced these three banners. I'm going to refresh it, and now I've got my new three banners. We'll go back in here. Now my main color. The main color is the color behind the buttons, the verbiage, and the banners. So right now I've got this light blue here, which I don't think works very well with my green scheme here. So I'm going to change this to maybe something like this. I get to choose a color, and then I can either define that color more thoroughly, or I can just accept it. Well, I am going to define it. I want it to be lighter. So I'm going to lighten that up quite a bit. I'm going to add that to my custom colors and select it. So now that color exists instead of this light blue. We'll see that in just a moment. Then my background color, that's this kind of wasted space on the left and right side. I say wasted space because on a computer screen, it's going to look like there's a lot of wasted space there. But of course, this has been formatted for a smartphone. So it's really not that very much wasted space. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And I'm going to change that to maybe a dark green here and accept that. So again, the way I change colors is I click on the color box. I can choose a color, define it more thoroughly, or, as I said, just choose a color and accept it. So let's save those changes and let's take a look. Let's go back here and let's refresh. And now we've got our new colors in there. Actually, I think this background green here looks terrible, so I'm going to change that. Let's go with this one and lighten that up a little bit. Select that and save. Okay, let's take a look at that one. That's a little better. Yeah, that looks nicer. Okay, so now we're going to come down here and we've got our font size, our font name, our font colors, etc. So the font size, when you open this for the first time, the font size is already put in there for you as a number 3. We recommend that you just leave it as a 3, or if you want it to be a little bit bigger, make it a 4. But those are really your only options, 3 or 4. If you start going with larger, 5, 6, 7, etc., God forbid 12, you're going to start messing with the format. So you don't want to do that. So again, 3 or 4 are really your only options here. Next is the font name. Again, the Arial will already be defaulted in there for you. Your computers have Arial on them, and it's one of the most common fonts found online because it's so easily readable. We recommend that you simply leave it as Arial. Can you change the font to something else? Absolutely. You can simply type in the name of the font that you want to use. As long as that font is installed on your computer and you're using the actual name of the font, then it will upload that font for your page. I recommend that you just leave it at Arial. The truth of the matter is that some of our customers have gone with script or something like that, and it makes it very difficult, especially on a smartphone, to read. So again, leaving it as Arial is our recommendation. Next is our font color. So the words that we're going to be typing in here for our appointments, gift certificates, or retail, they're going to have some messages for our customers to read. And I'm saying that I want my font color to be black. Again, you just click on it, choose whatever color you want, and OK. Now, the reason I went with black is because my main color is a light color. The important thing to note here is that the main color and the font color should have a high contrast, because the fonts are going to be laid, the words are going to be laid right over the main color. So for instance, if this was a dark purple and I chose black as my font color, it would be extremely difficult for my customers to read it. So you want to have a high contrast. If you went with a main color that was very dark, let's say like a dark purple, then my font color I would probably want to be white or maybe yellow or something like that. Again, high contrast. Next is my hyperlink color. Throughout the pages here, there will be links that your customers can click on to go to different areas. So again, I'm simply saying that I want those links to be this light blue, or in fact, dark blue actually. So let's change that. I'm going to go back to this blue here and accept that. There we go. I'm saying that's what I want my links to be colored as. If a customer has already visited that link, then I want that to change its color perhaps. I don't have to. I can make this one the same color blue, but I'm saying no. If they've already visited it, I want it to be a different color, so I've chosen this burgundy. Next, when I bring my mouse over a hyperlink, I want that hyperlink to automatically change its color so that I know that I'm about to activate that particular link. And so I said, I want it to be this hot pink. Again, you can choose whatever color you want. Finally, the active hyperlink means this is the hyperlink for inch. And I've decided I want that to be the same color as my hyperlink color. Again, you can make it anything you want. Finally, my main buttons in the main store page. Now, by the way, the main store page can be avoided altogether by your customers. I'll explain that in just a little bit. But if you're going to have them visit your main store page, I want it to reflect the rest of my colors, so I'm going to go with green. And you can choose blue, red, yellow, green, pink, brown, orange, or black. So you should be able to find colors that work with your site. I'm going to choose green and save. So let's take a look. I'm going to refresh, and now I've got green buttons, and now the page looks perhaps the way I want it to look. So now we come back in here, and I can activate my three features here: appointments, gift certificates, or retail. If I do not click on gift certificates or retail, I only click on appointments, then only my appointments will be activated. If I click on gift certificates, that will activate gift certificates. If I click on retail, it will activate retail. So I'm going to click on appointments, and that brings up this page here, set up online appointments. Again, it may look a little bit confusing, but I'm going to go over each field with you so you understand how it works. First is my welcome screen message. So let's take a look. Let's go to my appointments online. This is my welcome screen message right here, and I get to make it say whatever I want it to say. So I've said, welcome to our online booking feature. If you have not yet registered, blah, 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 blah. And finally, at the end of it, it says the word Rebecca. Why? No reason. I just want to show you something here. It says Rebecca. I'm going to change that. I'm going to just change it to say Joann. And save. So I'm going to refresh my screen here, and now it says Joann. Really simple. The point is that whatever you write in there, your customers are going to see immediately. So we've written our welcome screen message. Next is our confirmation message. When your customer books an appointment online, not only are they going to be told, hey, you successfully did this, but they'll be sent an email as well with all of the information. And in this case, I've said I want that email to include these words. Congratulations, you have successfully booked your appointment online. Next, we come down here to our cancellation policy. Whatever your cancellation policy is should be written right here. This will also appear on the email they receive as well as on other areas of booking the appointment. We'll be showing you that in just a moment. Next, we have show prices. Now, if your prices change a lot, then I wouldn't bother clicking this button. If it's blue, this will show your standard prices. If it's gray, it won't. So if the price changes based on maybe the provider that they're seeing, or maybe when they come there, every service that they get has a different price based on their particular needs, then I would not show prices. But again, if you have standard prices and they apply most of the time, I would simply go ahead and show those. Those prices will then show next to the service that they're getting. Finally, we have hours in advance. Not finally, but next, we have hours in advance. Now, the way this works is this. I've said one. I've put one here. I could put a 0, a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 12. It doesn't matter. But what it does is it advances the clock by 1 hour. So this is what I mean. Let's say that somebody goes to your website at 8 a.m. in the morning, and you open at 8 a.m., and they decide they want to book themselves an appointment. By putting a 1 here, the first available option they would be shown, if it's available, would be 9 a.m. If you had a 0 there, they would actually be able to book at 8 a.m. at 8 a.m. So in this case, by advancing it, you prevent them from booking an appointment at the exact moment that they're trying to book and then walk through your doors. They're going to be late if they did something like that. So by advancing it an hour, they're shown the first appointment would be at least 1 hour ahead. So if I had a 3 here and it was 8 a.m., the first appointment they would see would be 11 a.m. if it was available. So that's the way that works. Max days out works exactly the same way as hours in advance, except it works based on days instead of hours. So if I put a 0 here, that means that somebody booking on my screen today would be able to book an appointment today. Whereas if I put a 1 here, then today, as they're going through the booking process, the first available option they would see would be tomorrow. If I put a 2 in here, the first available option they would see would be the day after tomorrow, as long as those appointments were available. So by leaving a 0 here, somebody can book for the same day that they have gone into the site. Next, cancellation policy. This is a number of hours, and it should be whatever your cancellation policy here. So if you said 3 days advance notice is required, then this number should be 72. If this said, 20 days advance notice is required, then this should be 480, etc. Next is our booking color. The booking color is the color that you want the appointments that are booked online to be when they actually appear on your appointment book. So when somebody books an appointment online through this system, I've said I want it to be this hot yellow. You can click on this box and change it to any color you'd like, so that you're able to, with a very quick glance at your appointment book, know which appointments were booked online. Also, the word web appears next to any appointment that was booked online. So it's very easy to tell the difference between appointments that were booked online and appointments that were booked manually in-house. Next, we have only book on the. Now, these are your options: on the hour, on the half hour, quarter hour, 10 minutes, and 5 minutes. So we recommend, but you don't have to do this, we recommend the hour or the half hour. Now, why would I do this? Let's say that Joann is a provider of services, and tomorrow she has nothing booked for her on her appointment book from 12 to 5. And let's say she leaves at 5. So 12 to 5, she's wide open. She's booked it all morning, but she's got nothing from 12 o'clock on. If I said only book on the, and they had selected Joann as their provider, then they would be shown 12, 1, 2, 3, and 4. They would not be shown 5 because that's what time she leaves. So they would get 5 options: 12, 1, 2, 3, and 4. If I said on the half hour, then they would be given these options: 12, 12:30, 1, 1:30, 2, 2:30, etc. On the 15 minutes, 12, 12:15, 12:30, 12:45, 1, 1:15, 1:30, etc., all the way up to 5 o'clock. So again, understand, if you're wide open tomorrow and a customer gets 5 options, that's easy and clean, something for them to choose. If you had it on the half hour, they'd be given 10 options. Again, pretty easy and clean. But as you start drilling down, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, if you had selected 5 minutes and you had 5 full hours open, they would be given 60 options, 60. That's a lot. And it's a little bit cumbersome. So again, we recommend hour or half hour. But if you just got to be able to squeeze them in, then, hey, 15, 10, 5, they're there for a reason. But again, our recommendation, hour or half hour. Next, we have on the right-hand side here, notice it says select which operators, groups, and or services will be restricted from online scheduling. So you will have a list of all of your staff here, and any ones that you put a check next to will not be available for booking online. Only the ones that have open boxes will be able to be booked online. Same thing goes here with our groups of services. You put a checkbox next to any group that you do not want to be able to be booked online, leaving only those groups of services that you do want to be booked online. Finally, over here on the services side, you may have said, hey, look, I want my massages, like I've got here, massages can be booked online. However, you might decide that certain massages cannot be booked online. So you check those off. So they will not appear as options. So whatever you check under operators, groups, and or services, those will not be available for online bookings. And then we can save. So we have now set up our appointments online. Save and exit. So let's take a look. So let's say that somebody was in my store and they clicked on Book Now, or they had been at my website and they clicked the button, click here to book appointments online. It would have avoided this screen altogether, and it would have taken them automatically to this screen. Now your customer has the ability to create themselves an account and assign themselves a username and password. Once they have done that, they can then enter their username and password to go through the booking process, which I've already done here for Bella. So I'm going to go ahead and press login. Oops, nope, that's not going to work because I don't have mine turned on. So let's go back to the store here and let's turn it on. I apologize. And just a moment. Like that. Okay, so now I've turned it on. So let's try that again. Go in here. Bella's got her information already in, and now we can log in. And the first thing it says is choose a service group. So your customer is going to be able to, with their finger or with their mouse, choose from the list of groups that you allow to be booked online. So I'm going to, for instance, go with nails. After they've chosen a group, they'll be given a list of services within that group that they can choose from. So perhaps I choose acrylic tips full. After choosing a service, I will be able to choose from a list of operators that provide that service. Now, they can choose any operator. Let's see here. What if we have already on a page on our website? What if we already have a page on our website that says book online? We already have a template made. Okay, well, I mean, if you're using our system, then it's going to work this way. If you're not using our system, then you would change the URL. Unless you decide you're not going to use our system at all, but you would change the URL so it would direct them to our system. Okay, so they choose the operator they want, like for instance, we'll go with Ashley here, and then select a date. And we can choose any day that we want, and we can choose even a different month. So right now we're in the last day of the month here, so I'm going to go to December, and I'm going to say Wednesday. Oh, I don't think she works Wednesday, actually. And that's fine. The client wouldn't know that. So if they hit check times, they may see that there are no open times for this operator, just like that. So let's go with a Friday. Maybe she works Fridays. Let's take a look at that. And so we'll check times there. There we go. Okay, so now she can choose. And she's going to go with a 1 o'clock with Ashley and continue to confirmation. So below are the services that you've chosen to be scheduled. Acrylic tips full at 1 o'clock on December 1st with Ashley. Now I can book this appointment, or I can add another service to my cart and then book them both, or I can hit start over and wipe it all out. And I'm going to go ahead and say book appointment. And congratulations, your services have been scheduled. Acrylic tips full at 1 p.m. on 12/1/2017. Thank you, Bella, for booking with us today. We appreciate your loyalty, as well as 48-hour advance notice as needed, etc. She also just received an email that tells her all of this information and says that term, congratulations, that you had put in earlier, or that I had put in earlier. So let's take a look. Let's go in here, and let's go to the appointment book, and let's go to December 1st. And look, under Ashley, There's Bella for an acrylic tips full at 1 o'clock. It worked just fine. And there's my hot yellow that I chose, and the word web is next to it. So it worked just fine. So that's appointments online. And again, let me go back in here really quick. Let's go back to our store. Remember, I told you that you would change the URL. So there is a URL for the main store page here, which you can ignore if you'd like. We'll go to appointments, and there's another URL here for the appointments. This URL would be given to whoever your web administrator is, and they would turn this into a button that might say something like, to book appointments, click here. So when they click that button, it takes them directly to the appointments online page, like so, rather than having them see this storefront. Okay? All right. So moving on. Whoops, let's go back to our storefront here. Okay, so now that we've talked about appointments online, what we're going to do now is talk about gift certificate sales online. So I've got my gift cards button here. I click on this. This one's a lot simpler. If you offer packages for gift certificates, and you may not, but if you do, they will be listed here. And you'll be able to put a check next to any ones that you want to have available. If they are not checked, they will not appear as options. Next, shipping methods. I have 3 different shipping methods here: email, FedEx overnight, and USPS first class for card. So email if they're going to print out their own certificate, USPS first class for card, or FedEx overnight if you're going to ship them out an actual gift card. It's totally up to you. And you might say, wait a minute, though, these aren't the ones we use. We don't use FedEx, for instance. We use UPS or something. That's fine, because when you first go in here, there are no shipping methods. You need to create them. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to delete these so that you see what I'm talking about here. Okay, and we'll save the changes we made. So when you first go in, it might look something like this, and there are no shipping methods. You must create shipping methods. You can go with just one if you'd like, but you must create whatever shipping methods you want. So how do you create a shipping method? Really simple. You simply type in the name of the shipping method. So I'm going to say email is one of my shipping methods, and I'm going to give it a charge. Like, for instance, email is free, and add. Your shipping charge has been added. That's it. It exists now. Really simple. Now I'm going to do another one. Let's say UPS, and we'll say second day. And our charge for that, I'll say, is $8. And add. And then I'll do another one. Maybe USPS first class, and I'll say that that is $4, perhaps. I get to say whatever I want, and add. So now I have 3. Email, UPS, and USPS first class. Those are my 3 options. And I can make 4 or 5 or 10 options. Whatever options work for you. Most people just go with email and nothing else, because they want their customers to simply print the gift certificate out from home and then walk in with it, rather than having to be shipping something out to them. Totally up to you. But that's all you have to do, is create the shipping methods and then save it. That's it. And now it works. As long as, remember, you've got your API login and transaction key, because in this case, you're accepting credit cards. So if a customer clicks on gift certificates, it will take them to this page. Let me make it a little bigger so you can see everything. And they can type in who they want to send it to, maybe their wife, and the dollar amount. Whoops, don't need the decimal 00, it's already there. Now, if you had gift packages, they could select from your gift packages, and they wouldn't need to put in an amount. See, notice it says enter amount or gift package. I have no gift packages selected, so the only thing they can do is enter an amount. So I said $100. Now I can write a personal message if I care to. I don't have to, but I could. And I could say something like, congratulations, whoops, on being married to me. And ship it to myself, ship it to a recipient, or print it out today, and I can choose my shipping terms. Perhaps I want it to be emailed. So I select email and continue. So now it's going to give my customer this information: who the recipient is, what the amount is, subtotal, any shipping amount, and my total. I can add another certificate to my order if I want to order more than one certificate, or I can simply proceed. Now I put in all of my credit card information, including the address. I do not have to concern myself with this side unless I was buying like a gift card that I wanted the salon or spa to ship out to me. Then I would check this and I would put in a different shipping address. And then I would hit process. I'm the client. I would hit process. My credit card would be processed. And if it was accepted, if the credit card was good, then they will receive the email with your logo on it, with all of the gift certificate information. They can then print that out. It's a gift certificate, and they can walk right into your shop and use it. Your software is already aware of it. But if, however, they hit process and their credit card was declined, they will get a declined notice, and they will not be shipped a gift certificate or emailed, excuse me. Okay, so that's gift certificates. Really very simple there. Let's go back to our main store here. And let's say that you want to sell products online. What does the gift certificate look like? It's really very simple. It's got your banner across the top, and then it has information centered, like the name of the recipient, and it has the dollar amount that the gift certificate is good for, or the name of the gift package that they're buying it for. Some additional information like, the name of your business, of course, as well as a barcode and a number. So if you have a barcode scanner, you would be able to scan the gift certificate to use it, or you could type in the number. It's a really very simple, and then of course, it's going to be based on their printer as well. I mean, if they have a color printer, then obviously your logo will come out in color. If it's a black and white printer, it won't. So how pretty it is going to really be determined by their printer. It really is just an email, so that's going to affect its appearance.
Okay.
So retail. I go in here, and that brings up my setup online retail store. So I want to be able to sell product through my website. The first thing I have is the ability to put in up to 10 featured products. So I simply type in the SKU number of the products from my software into item 1, item 2, all the way down to item 10 if I want. I could just do one featured item. I've chosen to do 6 featured items. So it's totally up to you. The featured items will be the first items your customers see. You can also put shipping per item on them. This will allow, if they buy one, it'll be, in my case, I put $2.50. So if they're just buying one product, it would be $2.50 would be added to the price. If they bought 3, it would be $7.50, 4, $10, etc. Because I said $2.50 each. You can make it anything you want, $5, whatever. Next, we have select which items to be restricted from online retail. So you may have some manufacturers that do not allow their products to be sold online. If that's the case, or if you simply don't want to sell their products online, you simply put a check next to the name of the manufacturer, and anything that's checked will not be able to be sold online. Then we have the categories of your products. Any of your categories that you don't want to be sold online need to be checked. So I will say my shampoos can be sold online, my finishers, my conditioners, my skincare products, but not my sculpting or my body products or my miscellaneous or my brushes, etc. So again, you choose the categories that you don't want sold online. You don't need to do anything over here, but you may. So let's say, for instance, that I said Crew can be sold online, but maybe not all of my Crew products. So I go to my Crew manufacturer, and any product I check will not be able to be sold online. But if it is left unchecked, it will be able to be sold online. So even though I said Crew can be sold online, I restricted certain products, saying they cannot be sold online.
Got it.
Finally, I can press save to save all of my changes. Notice there is also a retail URL. So again, you could put a button on your website that says click here to purchase products online, or something to that effect, and it will bypass the main store screen, and it will take them directly to your to your retail online, which may look something like this. I've got my 6 featured products shown, and my customer can look at all of my shampoos or all of my, because these are the categories that I allow to be sold online. Here are the manufacturers that I allow to be sold online. And so the customer could click on here and look through all of your Crew products. or all of your Paul Mitchell products. And once they select something, so for instance, let's say that somebody is interested in the, this is the TG Cat Root Boost. We named it this OPI Not a Waitress because we were fooling around when we were doing another training. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And when a customer clicks on a product that they want to purchase, they're going to see a couple of things. First, they're going to see the product status, in stock. If the product is out of stock, they will not be able to purchase it. So it must say in stock. The system will know whether it's in stock or out of stock based on your quantities in inventory. If you've got one or more, it will be in stock. If you have 0 or negative, it will be out of stock. Next, the manufacturer will appear. The category will appear. Obviously, this is not an OPI nail polish, but we can change that right in inventory. And any description. So we left the description here. This product is for root coloring treatments and not to be used on oily hair. Cindy, just like I had shown you with the appointments online, I just simply can write anything I want in here, and that is what my customer will see. So where do we get the images, and where do we get this information? Well, let's take a look. In the software itself, we can go into our inventory, and we can pull a product up by SKU. Something like that. And here's my Just an All-in-One shampoo. Or I can look a product up by hitting lookup and do a name search. So I'll say OPI. No, you know what? I'll say waitress, because how many of those do we have? There we go. And so I'll accept that. So there's the product. And I'm going to change this manufacturer. I'm going to say, no, it's not. It's, so this is TG, if I'm not mistaken. Let's fix this one. A lot of manufacturers in here. There we go, TG. And my category is not nail polish. In this case, this is a conditioner. Oh, no, actually, it's a finisher. And then my product description. I can change its name. So I could say that this is actually my TG Cat Root Boost. And now the product description for online retail. Again, whatever I want to call it, and that's what I'm going to call it. It's my TG Cat Root Boost. I could have made a longer name for it, maybe even write out what cat means. Then my long product description. I can write whatever I want here, even change it to Joann. And save. Now, another thing that I want you to notice is that right here, we have an upload image button. I can upload an image of the product so that my customer will be able to see what it looks like when they're looking online. So we'll go back to our store here, and perhaps we'll go back into products, and excuse me. And now, as you can see, it says TG Cat Root Boost. So again, any changes that we make are going to be reflected online immediately. Do we design it, or is it a template? It is a template. Okay, so it's in stock, manufacturer is TG, category is finish, description, this product is for root coloring treatments and not to be used on oily hair, Joann, because that's what I wrote. My price is there. I can now add it to my cart if I choose to. Notice these empty boxes there, that just means that we didn't upload an image for those products. So now I can continue shopping, or I can check out, or I can even empty my cart. I'm going to check out. And I can then put in all of my credit card information and hit proceed to confirmation. Or I can check here if I want it shipped somewhere else, like to my wife, my mother, whatever it may be. Once I hit proceed to confirmation, again, you're going to get the same thing. Your customer is going to, what's going to happen is their credit card is going to be charged. If it goes through successfully, they will receive an emailed receipt. And of course, they will be told that their product is being shipped to them. On your end, in the point of sale, you will get an alert will pop up, letting you know that an online purchase has just been made. And when you click on it, it will show exactly what they bought, and it will even give you a label that you can print out with the shipping information. So you can take that product off your shelf, put it in a box, and send it out. It will automatically remove it from your inventory count. And off the product goes to the customer. Okay. Finally, all of these work along with other features in the paired app. So if you say, look, we're going to set all of this up but we're not going to make it website pages that are linked to on the website. We're simply going to have it done through the app. So if you want to book appointments online, you've got to download our app. If you want to be able to buy gift certificates online or product online, you've got to download our app. You can do that as well. And of course, the app is completely free to your customers. Totally up to you how you want to do that. But that's it. Once you've set up your front page and you set up 1, 2, or all 3 of these features, then your system is set up and your customers can now start making appointments for themselves, purchasing gift certificates for themselves or others, and buying products for themselves or others. And that's it. That's the online store class. Do you have any questions for me at all? Would you like me to email this video that this class that you just attended as a video? Okay. So I've got your the email that we sent the class information to. Would you like me to use that same email address?
Yes.
Okay. Then you can expect to have this probably within the hour. And unless apparently you don't have any questions for me right now, so I want to thank you for spending time with me. We had several people sign up for this class. You're the only one that showed up, so thank you very much for not wasting my time. And also, I can tell you that the people who are most familiar with the software are the people that are happiest with it. So I really do appreciate the fact that you took some time out of your busy day to attend this class. And if you're attending other classes today, I look forward to having you in those as well. Have a great day, Joann.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.